dire straits, ladies and gentlemen. I'm not talking about the band, I'm talking about the competitors and the crowd in dire straits after a dreadfully long night of debauchery, drink and other things beginning with D. Well, day 2 of the Rachau hill climb competition, the Red Bull hill climb, and the qualifiers get underway at the crack of 9 o'clock in the morning. Good run from the first man up the hill. And this is Andy Zimmerer, the Bavarian motorcycle dealer. He gets 8th overall. Here's a three-wheeler using a passenger for ballast and for a soft landing, presumably. It says here that the idea of having a passenger is that in a crash, it will help to steady the vehicle. Rubbish, it will do nothing of the sort. It will allow the rider to fall on something softer than slate. Doesn't do much for the machine though, does it? But it's a spectacular looking device. Crowd awake now, on their feet. Sadly the marshal's looking a little bit more jaded. So here is Bagheera, our top riding lady Austrian, and making her mark at 140 meters, I think we can safely conclude there. Well, one wheel over the 140 meter sign means 141 meters, 15th overall. And here's the Flying Dutchman, the big 620 stroker. Go on, rev, 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 oh dear, abandoned ship far, far too early. He may be Dutch, but he's not entirely dim. He gets out of the way of the machine at least. Not enough there to get in amongst the top riders. He hits the fatal flick and then runs. Well, the audience giving him a big appreciation on that one. Oh, the Roman Legion sending out an exploratory probe up the hill on his own. Not doing a bad job so far. I don't think the Goths, the Visigoths, or indeed the Huns will be too worried by that run. Do you know, people actually do this for fun? Yes. Sad, sad man. Well, now a protected species being put into operation here. This giant panda from the Vienna Zoo had a motorcycle inserted into it surgically. As you can see, this attempt at creating a new species not wildly successful. And this is an attempt at making sure that 3 Austrians don't contribute to the continuation of the species. That perhaps a little better. Beam me up, Scotty. Oh dear. Clearly, space technology in Austria yet to reach the level of throwing things up in the air. Well, here's a trials rider on a trials machine. You would think he might stand a chance here, but if he stopped messing about hopping up and down and continued to concentrate on the hill, he might have got further than the 130 meters, the 427-foot mark. Vital, vital refreshments for the top of the hill there. And here is our JATO, jet-assisted takeoff rider. Oh dear, misfiring on the rockets, and he didn't quite get the altitude he needed there. He needs to get the firing order sorted out a little bit better. Oh, determination here. Over 130. Off! Ouch! And 150, 195, 226, 247, 276 pounds and 33 pence worth of damage there. Here is our man with the best record for not going very far, and he now doesn't even get off the start ramp when the engine dies. Well, he does get a record for his troubles. He got 4 meters. Well, now this, as you can see, is a VW Beetle Jeep combination, and during the lunch break, it shows how far you can go if you have the faintest idea of what you're doing. The big problem, of course, is that he doesn't want to get into trouble and have it roll. So he chickens out. Well, you would too. Impressed? No, don't think so. he got 105 metres up the hill, and just at the part of the course where it suddenly snaps into a 45-degree angle. And his big question, of course, is will he get it back down safely? The crowd hope not. He hopes so. Well, here is a good way for father and daughter to spend the weekend. I don't recommend it, but obviously it's big in Bavaria. And the gallant father using his daughter as the cushion on the back, so that when he falls off, he's got something nice and soft to land on. Here's another group effort. The white helmets, it ain't. And I'm afraid the big 1300 four-cylinder engine just couldn't cope with two Austrian loonies. Let's look at some more serious attacks on the hill now. This really is a very committed effort and gets good results. Over 140 metres there. Shame he couldn't hold on to the machine. It's a Husaberg, that's Swedish metal. Sorry, that's Swedish scrap metal. Oh, not bad. Not bad at all. And this year's successful riders are starting to open up the trench at the 130-metre mark, and is now slightly more passable. So we're seeing a few more 140-metre runs. 140 in the last couple of years really has been the holy grail, but another good run. Excellent. Well past 140. That's 145. Peter Jobstel, the practice round winner then, 145.5 metres. Don't forget that extra foot and a bit. 477 foot 7 inches. Well, that gets him 5th overall. Now let's have a few of the French prototype riders from the Monte Impossible. Well, if their Monte is Impossible, then I don't know quite what the French for even worse than impossible is. Probably something unpronounceable, as he was just mouthing there as the motorcycle decided to use him as a short route down. And now it moves into self-destruct cycle. Well, that was David Claras, 3rd in the specials, and here again are our Western pioneers. Well, we seem to have a little difference of opinion as to which direction away from the hill they're taking. Cookie is coming up from behind with the barbecue. And the marshals are well impressed by that run as well. Now Bagheera coming again. In fact, not yet. This is a slightly more sensible option. And the big tanks really helping with that front end. Oh! Close to 150s. 149.5. 3rd overall and best placed four-stroker there. 490 feet. This is Peter Zipper Donitshuber. Last year's winner. Can he do it again? Still going? No, he's run out of steam. Well, the four-stroker made 5 feet further up, so he goes into 4th place, last year's winner. Well, he'll be disappointed with that. And just doing a little bit of a Valentino Rossi impression there down in the crowd. Here's the man who comes home 5th in the specials class. Although what's special about this machine, I find it hard to imagine, other than its novel use of big plastic balls. Well, the skidoo being fixed. Let's see how he goes here. A little bit more tentative early on. He needs to lean forward, keep those wheels on the ground, or it won't steer at all with the drive belt. Get your weight forward, mate. Well, 100 horsepower, he's got the power to go up. Go on. Give it a big handful. Don't girly out now. Keep going. Dear, oh dear. Look, he's trying to get it back down without destroying the thing again. 120 metres. But he's really now suffering the effects of gravity, and off. Away it goes, finally making its own bid for freedom. And the skidoo will be a skidoo less than it did before in a moment or two. Railing itself into a little sausage-shaped mess. And they love that, don't they? The more expensive the destruction, the more they like it. And it doesn't have to be in terms of mechanical expense either. I think that may well have exacted some revenge on the rider. So here is the leader from the practice round, his last run up, and he doesn't better his previous run. So only 5th position for him, but the Roman Empire about to strike back. They're giving it a good run this time. Let's see if Dobbin can get them up to the first photographer before they lose control. No chance at all. Roman Empire falls again, and the Huns and the Visigoths love it. Well, here we go. A 4-cylinder rather, 3-wheeler, no passenger combination. Looks like a bit of a better idea. Trying to get it to start. Give up, mate, it's stopped. Well, he manages to stop it at least. Here is Martin Dies of Germany. I wonder if he's any relation of Rick Dies and the cast of idiots. Certainly a cast of idiots around here, and he makes it to 140, but his bike very nearly to 150, and he's given the 150 mark, so he takes over the lead. Well, now, muted applause from the starter. The crowd love it, but wait, they don't realize it's not an Austrian. So, now with the hopes of Austria riding on his shoulders, Manfred Kainz, can he save Austria at the Rachau hill climb? He's giving it his very best shot. 150 meters is the mark he needs to make. He gets there, the bike goes 154 meters. Well, it never did. Never in a month of Sundays did the bike get past the 150 meter board, but the Austrians, needing to win, claim that it did. And so with a deft amount of local cheating, 505 feet, 6 inches, 154 meters is the mark for Manfred Kainz. And the starter and the rest of the cheating crowd loving it all the way to the Echo. So, well, 154, perhaps it was 150, perhaps we should have seen a tie, but you can't let the Germans win. So the Rachau hill climb is won by Austria once more. Next year, the 5th anniversary, the organisers are planning, they say, something special, something outrageous, and a new selection process. The emphasis will be on barking outfits, encouraged with even more prize money. Otherwise, the event will stay the same. Undoubtedly the most insane motorcycle event in Europe, in the world, unless, of course, you know different. So that's it from Rachau for 1998. I know from response we've had over the years that we will be covering this again in 1999. Manfred Kainz winning by dint of some deft cheating by the Austrians, and Josef Weishaupt also winning the specials class. But the spectators, as ever, the real winners at